All right, on this episode, we're going to go through and have a little fun and play with some of the other icons. So I'm going to go to Category 1, Folder 13. And in Folder 13, I really like this design number 48, and it really shows well for this function. So I click on that. It's telling me the size, how long it's going to take, and the color changes, so I'm going to say Set. I can leave it right in the center for right now. I'm going to go to Edit. I have Size, Move, Rotate. We're going to do a little example here. I'm going to click Embroidery, and I want you to make a mental note of how many stitches are in this design. 6420. Now I'm going to click Return. I'm going to go to Size. I'm going to leave it on the default, which is on the left side, and I'm going to stretch the design out as much as it will go. And I'm going to say OK, and I'm going to go to Embroidery. The stitch count is the same, because if you use that icon and that default setting, the only thing it's going to do is stretch each stitch. Stretch it or shrink it whichever way you want, and it only goes up or down 10%. So I'm going to hit Reset. And if you don't remember anything else from these little videos, the most important one is right here. Touch the one on the right. It looks like a zigzag. And I'm going to say OK. One thing too, if you're going to resize, have your designs in the center, because it will automatically put it back in the center when it tells you to reset. So always do your work in the center. Now I'm going to take the 4-way arrows and I'm going to stretch it out. And I'm going to say OK, Embroidery. And now it has 12,000 stitches. If you use the icon on the right rather than the default one that comes in, it will go up or down 200%. And it recalculates stitches, keeps the density appropriate, and uses underlay if necessary. It's really cool, but I just hit Reset to get it back to its normal size. Now I'm going to say OK. So that's how you do with size. I want to come down to the thread palette for this. On the thread palette, there's a couple of changes in here. First of all, you can always scroll down through your colors, or you can just click on one and it will select it. If I want everything to be that color, I can come over here and hit this, and now it would change everything to whatever color I put down. See, it's all one color design now. You don't like that. I'm going to reset. Say OK. Now it's back to its pretty colors. On the thread palette, if you notice here, it says mine is set for Floriani threads. If you want to change your thread palette to a different palette, it will only recognize the change once you turn it off and turn it back on. You can't just go from Floriani to Isacord in the middle of a design. It will not work. You need to turn it off, let it get the different thread family, and then continue. How do I know that? Because I was trying to match a color from my Floriani, it didn't have it, and so I went to Isacord and it wasn't showing up. It still said Floriani colors. All right, so you could use these to go back and forth. If you have a scan and cut and you want to turn your design into a cut file to take to your scan and cut, you have to have it on embroidery threads. That represents the Brother embroidery threads, because down there is a pair of scissors to turn it into a cut file. It has to be on embroidery. I am just going to go change it back to Floriani. Okay. Telling me the color and the number, but I'm going to come into color shuffling. In color shuffling, it's still telling me the same thread palette. It's telling me how many thread changes are in there. And it's saying, do I want to look at it in random colors? This means it is just going to put in whatever it wants, wherever it wants. So now you can see it has gone through and put different colors in different places. And I can hit refresh, go to another page, and I believe there's 10 pages, so basically 90 choices. I'm going to hit cancel. On the color shuffling still open, touch the word manual. And now I can scroll down and put any of the colors I might want to use. I'm just going to pick a few different ones. And it's going to take and put those in various parts of the design. Come on, scroll down. Okay, my scroller's not working. Sorry about that. I'm just going to pick a couple of more colors on this screen and you'll see the changes. Say OK. And now it's only going to use the colors you selected and put it in different positions on the design. And it really can look quite different just depending on what you've done. You go refresh again and get some more samples. Let's say I really liked one and that's what I wanted to sew out. I could just click it. There it is. And once I touch set, it will go into the embroidery edit screen to stitch out. But I don't want to do that right now, so I'm going to go cancel. And I'm going to touch cancel again. Actually 3 cancels. Now I'm going to go to gradient colors. So gradient is just going to take one color and it's going to use it in just different shades. See? From light to dark and all in the same family. I'm going to touch cancel and touch manual. Pick out one thread color. Say OK. Now it's going to take that one thread color and use it in different hues and density to stay in the same family. And if you refresh, it still is all going to be with that one color. So those were a lot of fun to play with. Cancel. Cancel again. We're going to go to vivid colors. There's no choice for auto or manual on vivid colors. It's just what it is. And you can refresh and it's all those choices. If you find a color palette that you really like in the design, and the Luminaire has this new, and I believe that this was brought out in the upgrade, and where you can click favorites and save one of these colors. All right, let's go to soft. Soft are all your pastels. There's really some really pretty ones that they put in. What's nice to do, let's say you have a print fabric and you have like a monogram or something you want to put in it, or a medallion and all. Well, come make the medallion in the same colors to match your fabric. It really makes a nice design. All right, so we have that there. Okay, I'm going to copy one more. I'm going to bring it up here. I'm going to rotate it a couple of times. Okay, so now I've got it in opposite corners. I'm going to say OK. In my move section, these numbers are telling me how far from center the center of my design is. If there's no numbers here, that means it's up and to the right. If I move this one over here, now it's got a minus. Okay, so that's giving me the minus. So down and left is a minus number, up and right is a plus. Why could those be important? Well, if I really wanted to try and get something lined up, I should really match the numbers. So this one is 429 and 191. So this one should be 429 and 191. Oh, I'm sorry, what was this? 589. 429, 589. So it's going to go down. Get happy fingers. So why could these numbers be important? Well, if I really wanted to have something lined up perfectly, I would want them to be off center. The best example I give is I make a Mickey Mouse clock. And when I make the clock, if I put Minnie 1.75 to the right, I better put Mickey 1.75 to the left so they're completely lined up. We'll say OK. course, now in the Luminaire, you could also use your alignment tool to help you.